You don't remember how you got here, but you know you've always been here for as long as you can remember. There's nothing to see here because it's dark, but not completely dark because there's some kind of dim light coming from somewhere. But you're not sure where. You've always been quite content in here. It's warm and comfortable, but all of a sudden you're feeling an urge to stretch out and push, so you do. You seem to have some kind of tiny horn on your nose, so you use it to push against the walls that surround you. You push harder, and suddenly more light breaks through. Push again, and a bit more, and that's it. And suddenly you emerge blinking into the light. Welcome to a brave new world. You take a look around. It's warm outside. It looks lush and green. But wait, what's that? And what's that? And what's that? Ah! This place looks terrifying! I've made a terrible mistake! Let me back in! I don't like it here! Please let me back in! Help me! Okay, calm down. That huge monster is actually Mom. She looks pretty big and strong. No, not pretty, just pretty big and strong. She'll definitely be able to protect you though, so that's good. Let's hear you roar. Okay, that was embarrassing. Let's hope nobody heard. But as long as you avoid getting eaten, you'll have plenty of time to work on it. But is being a Triceratops good or bad? Well, sorry to break this to you, but it's not going to be fun, because being a Triceratops was never very easy. And spoiler alert, you just happen to have chosen the very worst moment possible to be born a Triceratops. So it's not going to end well for you either. Basically, your life will suck, and your death will suck even more. But we'll get to all that in good time, so let's try to make the most of it while we can. Oh look, you're not alone. It looks like you've got some little brothers and sisters who are also struggling to emerge from their eggs, but you don't care. Instead, you look around to see if you can find something to eat. You see there's plenty of vegetation. That's good because you're an herbivore, a plant-eating dinosaur. So you make your way out of your nest towards the nearest plant you can see. Your snout ends in a beak, which is great for pulling leaves off plants, so take a big bite and stuck in. Your teeth are perfect for this kind of diet too. As you grow, you'll develop what's called a battery of teeth. That means you'll have columns of teeth piled one on top of the other that keep growing to replace the ones above as you wear them down. You'll only have around 40 active teeth at any one time, but with all the replacements lined up and ready to take over, you might have up to 800 teeth in your head at any one time. And that's important because you're going to be huge, so you'll need to spend a good portion of your life eating. Ooh, be careful. Mom's there to protect you, but you don't want to get trampled under her feet. She's the size of a mountain, and you won't look much like a baby Triceratops anymore if she steps on you. You settle into a routine, which basically means following Mom about all day, trying not to get stepped on, and eating as much as you can. Your head is huge relative to your body, so you prefer to eat low-growing vegetation, although once you get bigger, you'll be able to knock down bigger plants and trees to get to the leaves that way too. You live with your mom and other adult Triceratops, maybe Mom's sister, and a few other babies and juveniles. Other dinosaurs in your neighborhood include Ankylosaurus, an absolute tank of an animal that wanders about flattening vegetation, eating the same plants as you, and clubbing anyone who comes too close with his massive bony tail. Then there is Pachycephalosaurus, a dinosaur that seems to enjoy spending its days banging its bony head against the heads of all its buddies. And there are quite a few other dinosaurs besides them, and some of them are not that friendly. There are some weird hairy creatures too. Mammals, they'll be called eventually, but that's not something you'll ever know or need to worry about. They eat dinosaur eggs when they can get them, but they're mostly too small to bother even a baby Triceratops, so you don't pay much attention to them. In the far distant future, some mammals will evolve into monkeys, and some of the monkeys will invent something called movies. In the movies, they'll have something called a velociraptor, but velociraptors are not something you'll need to worry about either for two main reasons. First, velociraptors live in a place that will eventually become Asia, but you live in an area that will become Montana in the USA, so there are no velociraptors here. Second, even if there were velociraptors where you live, they still wouldn't bother you because they're only about the size of a turkey. Turkeys are a kind of weird-looking dinosaur descendant that will appear in the far distant future, but don't worry too much about what a turkey is. The main point is that real velociraptors were nothing like the big scary ones in the future Monkeys movies, and they definitely wouldn't be able to kill a Triceratops like you, especially when Mom's around. But what you do need to worry about are Dakotaraptors. medium-sized, meat-eating dinosaurs that look like the velociraptors from the movies but are much bigger. These guys are about 30 feet long, nose to tail. They have sharp teeth and slashing claws, and they share your patch. So if you see any about, you'd better make for the bushes and hide ASAP. Oops. Oh well, you can't all make it, huh? Congratulations, you're now a juvenile Triceratops. You've still got a long way to go before you're fully grown, but you're already well on the way. Your main horns are getting nice and long, so you'll be able to protect yourself a bit better. You won't want to tangle with any Dakota raptors by yourself because they hunt in packs, but if you stick with your family, you should be more or less safe. But there are much worse things out there to worry about than just a few skinny Dakota raptors because you're alive during the late Cretaceous. And you know who else is alive during the late Cretaceous? Well, you won't be able to smell him because your sense of smell is poor. And if he attacks you from behind, you won't be able to see him either because that great frill on your head creates a huge blind spot. But just turn around and take a quick look. Yep, him. Because Triceratops lived alongside Tyrannosaurus rex. T-Rex is your nemesis, and this one looks hungry. Yeah, these showdowns probably weren't actually a thing. T-Rexes were unlikely to attack fully grown Triceratops adults like in some of the other monkey movies because, with those formidable horns, the Triceratops would have been too dangerous to tackle. But a baby or juvenile, sure, that would make a tasty T-Rex snack, so just be thankful Mum was there to get you out of trouble this time. So now let's concentrate on eating as much as you can every day because once you reach a certain size, even an adult T-Rex will leave you alone. Probably. Good job, you're now a sub-adult. You've made it this far, and the odds of you remaining alive have increased significantly. This is a good age for a Triceratops, so enjoy it. You're big enough to handle yourself, but you're not old enough to worry about having to buy a car, getting a mortgage, starting a family, or getting into debt. So just make the most of your days. Now is the moment to leave your family and head off on your own. Up until now, your family group has provided safety and protection, but Triceratops are not particularly sociable animals. So you set off into the wide world in search of new life experiences, exciting culinary adventures, and the chance to get the perfect insta-snap next to a cool-looking volcano. For the next few years, all you need to do is eat, drink, poop, and sleep. It's an easy life that doesn't need much thought, which is a good thing because dinosaurs like you were never blessed with great intelligence. Look, we all know what's coming. It's already in the galactic post and is hurtling through space towards you and as we speak. But even without that, your kind were never destined to be featured among the planet's great thinkers. But you're good with that. Leave the philosophy to the monkeys. Your thing is plants. So just crack on and eat as many of them as you can. Time for a promotion. You're no longer a sub-adult Triceratops, you're a fully grown adult, and you're the size of an African elephant. Don't worry if you don't know what an elephant is. That's another reference for all the monkeys who'll be watching this video millions of years from now. But with your new status comes new concerns, new responsibilities, and new experiences. And here comes one now, right on cue. He greets you with a low rumbling call. Your ears are adapted to hearing such low frequency sounds, and the meaning is clear. He thinks you're pretty hot. But wait, who's this? Another one ambles out of the undergrowth, and it looks like there's going to be a confrontation. They both have impressive frills, and their frills are now flashing with a color display that's designed to impress you while intimidating the rival. But neither seems too intimidated, so it's going to come down to a fight. The two males lock horns, literally, and an epic battle of pushing and jostling ensues. Finally, with both males exhausted, the loser beats a hasty retreat, blood dripping from several wounds on his face and frill. The victor is also injured, but he doesn't care because he has won the prize. Yes, that means you. So brace yourself because this huge 10-ton dinosaur is getting ready to climb up onto your back and do his thing. Well, that was an ordeal. At least it didn't last long. Somehow you expected more of him. He must be tired. And then, before you know it, you're scraping out a nest and filling it with eggs of your own, and the circle of life continues. Your babies have been born, and just like your mother before you do what you can to keep them safe. You've joined up with a couple of other females and their offspring, and your family group provides you with safety in numbers. But then one day, it happens. The fight of your life. A young adult tyrannosaur catches you off guard. He's too young to know any better, and the two of you begin circling each other, locked in a combat that could easily turn deadly for one or both of you. He darts forward, biting at your frill. He catches your horn in his mouth and bites down hard with his huge teeth. He slips off but uses one of his claws to scratch at your side. Then you charge forward with your horns, opening a wound in his thigh. You both back off and begin to circle again, both looking for a way out. But as you circle, above you something rushes through the sky. You feel it first on the ground, a rumbling sound that turns into a roar. The ground shakes and you both fall to the ground. With the ground still shaking violently, you get to your feet. The Tyrannosaur does its best to run in the other direction, and the sky above you begins to turn black. A massive asteroid around 9 miles across has just smashed into the Earth, and the result will be that you, your offspring, all other Triceratops, and every other non-avian dinosaur, along with 3/4 of all plant and animal species on Earth, will quickly go extinct. In the coming weeks and months, deprived of sunlight due to the cloud of dust that fills the sky, the plants will all die. You'll have nothing to eat, and you and all the rest of your kind will quickly starve to death. And this is why being born a Triceratops really sucked. After all your struggles, surviving to adulthood, and starting a family of your own, enjoying the good times and getting through the bad, there's nothing you can do. Because you and so many others like you are all about to die. So let's hope you enjoyed being a Triceratops while it lasted, because now your time's up.